Can we finish off with 5 questions with David Ring?
Sure.
All right. So you grew up a San Diego Padres fan. I got my San Diego hat back there somewhere. And you still follow them today. How do you like your chances this year?
It's so up and down right now. But I mean, it's going to be the Red Sox years were good, and I can tell you that what you need is everybody to stay healthy and perform well.
Yep.
Make a couple of key moves at the trading deadline, and bring up a couple of people from your farm system. And when that, and then you need one or two. You usually basically need two really great pitchers that are pitching their best at the right time. So I think they have as good a chance as anybody else. They're stacked, and the farm system's stacked. So I think it's a little bit of luck once you get down to the end there that all those things align.
Yeah, I'm a Oakland A's fan, Billy Bean disciple, who always says it's a crapshoot. A's haven't advanced very far, even though they've been in the playoffs a lot. And so we'll just leave it at that. Who's your favorite Padre of all time? Side question.
Of all time? Yeah, I would say probably Dave Winfield.
Oh, yeah. All right. Okay, question number 2. Better Mexican food, San Diego or Austin?
Yeah, that's funny because, the Mexican food is nothing like it is in Mexico. I travel a lot in Mexico. So it's like
better Mexican food, San Diego, Austin, or Mexico?
There was this place in Boston, La Taqueria Mexicana in Union Square. It's probably still there. If you go there, that guy, just get the tacos, and they're, it's like just right off a taco cart in Mexico. But no, so San Diegans, it's the carne asada burrito.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get off the plane and you go to Roberto's and get a carne asada burrito instead of going to see mom later. So I'm still addicted to that. In Austin, it's all about the tacos and particularly the breakfast tacos.
Oh yeah.
But it's more about tacos, and you can't go wrong really. But so and then I'd call it even.
Okay. All right. So as we said before, you are a musician, and from what I understand, you play multiple instruments: guitar, bass, and drums. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You played in some bands in Boston during your time there, and it sounds like you're playing in at least one band in Austin.
Yeah, I started playing when I was kind of, I think everybody dreams of being a rock star. So I finally got my mom to let me rent a drum kit, but I didn't know how to make it quiet. So 3 months later, the neighbor said no. Yeah. And then I sulked for a while. I was scared of guitar because that was the Eddie Van Halen years. I thought only deities played guitar. Yeah. So I picked up the bass guitar, and then I got pretty good at that. Even started playing a little bit I played with a few guys a little bit. And then somebody on my street, I was talking to him at the 4th of July party. He's like, "Oh, you should come take the guitar that my daughter never used." So I started playing guitar. And then in high school, our senior year of high school, we formed a protest band. And it was all punk and 50s stuff. And then so we all played each other's instruments, and we didn't, it was sort of real punk attitude. And then kept playing in bands. In my 3rd year of medical school, we actually got on the radio. I was the drummer in the band, in that band, which had a really good singer-songwriter recorder, and we got on the radio a little bit. So that was about it. And then when I got to Boston, nothing, busy in residency. But then when I was a fellow junior attending, a class of residents had 3 people that played. And so we made a band, and the name of that band was Rod the Long Bone. So just had to explain that a little bit. But and that band, I went back to Boston 5 years ago. We got together and played a little bit. But there were a couple of generations of that band. And then when I got to Austin, I met the chief of psychiatry played, and one of the people there's 2 groups that take care of the musicians in Austin, a lot of professional musicians. And there's HAM, Health Alliance for Austin Musicians. That's basically all medical and dental stuff. And then there's SIMS, which is looking after mental health and substance misuse. And the clinical director of SIMS was a drummer And so I was hanging around them a little bit, and so I knew who our drummer would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, the question was, did you aspire to be a rock star? And you answered that. I play acoustic guitar, and I still want to be a rock star.
Yeah, I realized though that I'm probably not well suited to it. Like one of the things I noticed is like we would play 6 or 7 gigs a year for charity and stuff, and we'd get sick of our songs. And I thought, what if you're Aerosmith and you're still playing Sweet Emotion 200 nights a year for the last 30 years?
Yeah.
I used to say jokingly, that's why they do heroin, but it is, I mean, you have to be a performer. And if you see Steven Tyler, like he's a performer. I saw him on like American Idol, and he's just a performer. He'd break out in song, he'd sing with people. God, I don't have that.
Yeah.
I love to play, but I'm not a good performer.
Yeah.
So I think I found my niche.
Yeah. My problem is that I like to be in bed by 10 p.m. So
yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, it's not quite walking up to the plate or coming out of the bullpen, but there's a small amount of excitement when you're, freshly clean hands, you walk into the OR, you're about to get gowned up. So if you had to choose one song as your entrance music into the OR, what would it be?
Oh, I would, my favorite album is Back in Black by AC/DC.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd probably go with Back in Black or Hell's Bells or something like that.
Yeah. That'll get you pumped up for a carpal tunnel release. All right. Question number 5. What advice do you give to your trainees, whether it's a medical student, resident, fellow, what have you, when it comes to understanding and appreciating mental health?
Yeah, I guess here's how I'll say it. And I'll give a story. I had a high school student shadowing me on telemedicine the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And so
how does that work?
He knows. I go into the room and I say, "Hey, do you mind if I have a student shadowing me? Do you mind if they come in?" I've never had anyone say no. They always say yes. They say yes before I'm done. They're like, people love to, how this is in a teaching hospital. They love having learners come around. They sometimes complain later, like they think some of my complaints were like, "Oh, he was performing for his audience," but for the most part, they really like it and they really enjoy it.
It's telemedicine, or
so it's like Zoom.
Okay.
We're on Zoom, and they're just one of the people in there. It's been working really great. I do undergraduates love to shadow. I'm like, come do research. Don't just shadow. And I get a lot of them doing research too. So but anyways, this high school student's watching me, and I say, "What did you notice?" I always say that. What did you notice? But this high school student knows nothing about medicine at all, and he noticed everything. He was able to describe, I noticed this, and he noticed all the human aspects of it, the worries, the misinterpretations, the loss of identity. He could name it, he could notice it. And I said, this is what I say to medical students and residents. I say, if you're a fresh medical student, I always say, you're still more human than doctor. Try to hold on to that. Don't let them dehumanize you.
Yeah, right.
And I describe my own journey as I kept this pilot light of humanity, and I cherished it while they were dehumanizing me in orthopedic residency and medical school. And then when I started doing this, patient reported outcome measure stuff, started to bloom.
Right.
But you're more human. You always want to be more human than doctor. That's my advice.
You're like that scene in The Grinch when his heart.
Yes, my heart grew 3 sizes. Yeah, absolutely.
David, I really enjoyed speaking with you. Thanks so much for coming on the Sports Medicine Orthopod. Thanks to the audience for tuning in. Please give us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Hey, folks, thanks for tuning in. If you like the show, please subscribe, like, and share. And we'd love to hear from you. If you have a question about today's show, or you, a loved one, or maybe your favorite athlete has sustained a sports medicine injury that you would like to know more about, please reach out to us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or email. And stay tuned for more exciting content from the Sports Medicine Orthopod. Thanks again.